Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Aquarius placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Aquarius, to get started, I'm getting quite a few downloads for your reading today. So the first one is about healing some sort of pattern in the past that was not serving you. And I feel like you will know what this is referring to. It was coming through as devil energy for you. So that could be addiction. It could be codependency. It could even just be it could be some sort of lesson that you needed to learn. It could be a relationship. It could be, it could even be something like a bad habit, like whatever that is. It doesn't have to be super intense like that, but it could just be like as simple as like a bad habit or like something that you just do habitually or without thinking or automatically that is not serving you anymore. And what was coming through with this for you, Aquarius, is that whatever this habit or thing is, I'm just going to call it a habit, like a pattern of behavior, just for simplicity, but apply to your life however it resonates for you. That this pattern of behavior or habit was developed as like some sort of like habit, like pattern that helped you maybe to deal with stress in some way. And I feel like this the stress energy is coming through is very significant where, okay, so this is where it kind of gets a little complicated. So just bear with me for a second, Aquarius, where I feel like there's this really significant, metaphor that's coming in for you about resonance and frequency. And so the metaphor, so I saw this on like an Instagram reel. It's not important, but I do want to give credit to where I saw it from. I can't remember the handle, but I saw somebody's reel on Instagram and she was talking about like engineering. And I've talked about this on the channel before, but she was talking about engineering and, for example, like things that we construct, like bridges, like washing machines, like helicopters, or any sort of like machine like that or object that is made, has a resonant frequency where it like vibrates exactly when it vibrates in exactly its resonant or natural frequency, it can cause catastrophic damage to the thing. So if you just look up resonant frequency in bridges, you'll find examples of like bridges that are vibrating in a particular frequency and it basically like self-destructs or it falls apart because of the vibration. It becomes amplified and all of that. And so this is coming in as a metaphor, like, because the reason why she was using that as an example is that we as human beings also have certain frequencies that cause us stress, that can cause us stress, and that can cause us to amplify certain vibrations that are bad for us or negative or can cause harm to us. And so from the engineering perspective, her solutions to that were like when people are building things, how we can prevent the resonant frequency from being attained or how we can prevent things from falling apart when that happens is either to like put in a dampener, right? Like something to dampen the frequency so that it doesn't reach that point or that the energy is absorbed or that kind of thing, which is relevant for you today, Aquarius. Or you can change the material that it's made out of so that the resonant frequency changes and it's not achieved, right? So that's also something that feels relevant to you. And there's also like doing other things to change the design or change whatever to prevent that resonant frequency from happening. Or if there is a resonant frequency that is there, but impossible to avoid. It's like to change the frequency to bypass it. So there is something like that happening for you, Aquarius. Like those like 3 different options of how to deal with a stress point. That's how it's coming through. It is feeling like a stress point for you. That there are ways in which you can deal with that. And each one will have varying degrees of success, right? This is I feel like something that you have to sort of trial and error with, like, and I feel like the dampening solution, like finding other things to sort of absorb the impact of it, might be part of the solution. But I do feel like the one that was coming through the strongest for you as a solution was to change the material. I don't think bypassing this frequency is going to work in this case, or that it wouldn't be healthy, because I feel like for example, let's say like work is a stressor for you, right? As it is for a lot of people, but like maybe there's a particular part of the work that is stressful. It's not the whole work, but it's a particular part of it, or like you're going into a time that may be kind of stressful for you in whatever area of your life. I'm just using work as an example, or that there's a particular thing that you know is a stress point for you. And so you may find yourself engaging or wanting to engage in certain behaviors that may dampen that stress for you, or that like absorbs the stress for you, or like sort of like distracts you from the stress, like that kind of thing. Perhaps that is something that you did in the past, and maybe there is something here for you as a change in behavior where you change the material, is how it's coming through. Like change how you engage with it, or you change how you what behaviors you're choosing, or you change something about it so that actually it changes the frequency. So it's I don't know where I'm going. I feel like it's getting like really complex and like too much. So I'm just gonna leave that like that. I do feel like though that there is some sort of change in behavior that you are in the process of doing, so that this stress point either doesn't become a stress point anymore, or that you have a better way of moving through it, is how that's coming through. I do feel like in the past, this stress point, whatever that is for you, may have caused like a significant amount of damage in an aspect of your life that I feel like maybe it's almost kind of like in the past, this feels like, in the past, I'm seeing the Tower for you, Aquarius, and this feels like past, right? Where like this stress point, like a lightning bolt, it's almost like, okay, this is why the dampening thing is coming in, because what I'm seeing is that, like, let's say you had a stress point in your work, right? And then it's coming through as like a lightning bolt. That's the stress point in your work. But what you were doing in order to deal with work stress was that you were using, for example, relationships to dampen the effect of the work stress, right? So it's kind of like the work stress caused catastrophic damage to a relationship in the past, or relationships, plural, whatever kind. Like, because it's almost like the lightning strike was dampened through another outlet in your life. And so it's coming through like that, where the stressor point caused damage to some other aspect in your life, because that's what you were using to help deal with the work stress, if that makes sense. So what's coming through here is that, like, okay, the lesson here is you can't use that aspect to dampen the effect of the work stress because it's going to cause catastrophic damage. And so what's coming through here as a solution is that you have to change the material so that you're not like, so that the stressor is not, I don't know. That's part of what you need to work through, I guess, Aquarius. I guess that's what's coming through here. Maybe changing the way that you engage with it. Maybe there's some sort of, it does feel very strongly like changing the way that you engage with this stress point, whatever that is for you. And I feel like that will become clear to you. But what is also becoming clear is that you can no longer use the other thing to dampen the effect of it, because it's not, I feel like that is a lesson that you've learned from the past. That's how it's coming through. Okay. Aquarius. I feel like though this is feeling like good news, because it almost feels like clarity that's coming through about a behavior that was not serving you. And I feel like you in the past it's providing clarity about maybe something that went wrong, right? Like like catastrophic failure is coming through as being like a really intense way of describing something that happened in the past for you, maybe, but like maybe you're being a bit hard on yourself with that. But it does feel like something like a tower moment from the past that maybe you would describe as a failure in some way, or that something fell apart when you didn't intend it to, or like it is feeling like something like, it doesn't have to be exactly this for you, but something like work stress negatively impacting your relationships. That's how it's coming through. Or vice versa, right? Like stress in relationships negatively impacting your work, right? So it feels kind of something like that, because maybe you were using one in order to help to dampen the stress of the other. That's how it's coming through. And I feel like that is not serving you anymore. Okay, Aquarius. I do feel though like you are healing a significant like trauma energy is how it's feeling. I do think that there is some like cleaning up that you have to do in something. I feel like it has to do with inner child work. And I feel like there may also be a little bit of like discomfort around that. So just being conscious, Aquarius, if you are feeling any discomfort around that, that's part of the healing process. Okay, I'm going to pull a card. I've been talking for a long time. I'm going to pull a card for you. The red and white rose. I love this card. This is a card about the connection between physical and spiritual. One second. Vital force arising and awakening. Something is coming to life before the alchemist's eyes. The pristine white of the rose is not threatened by the blood red pigment. Their mixing does not make pink. Rather, each color remains vibrantly itself, expressing its message. This signifies the awakening of the physical as a gateway to the spiritual. Without the body, spiritual teachings remain conceptual, yet not integrated into the everyday. This card encourages the alchemist to honor the body as a temple each and every day, observing it, listening to it, mining it for information and guidance. At its height, this card signifies a mastery, a uniting of body to serve the soul's purpose, as seen in the likes of dancers, athletes, and during the birth process. Yeah, okay. Kundalini rising. The answers will be found in the body and the breath, not in the mind. Okay, very interesting, Aquarius, because of course Aquarius represents the mind, right? Or rules over the mind. But I feel like for you, this is coming through as being like the body or the physical, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be just your body. It could also be the physical or material world or something like that. Like how you show up in the physical world is part of it. And that's a gateway to the spiritual in some way. So I feel like the physical environment for you is very significant. Because I feel like there's something to do with, like, because sometimes I feel that the physical environment is almost like the last to catch up out of all the elements, right? Like, fire and air are the fastest moving, then water, and then earth. So earth is the slowest in some ways, to catch up or to be like once earth gets involved, it sort of like completes the process. That's how it's coming through. And I feel like there's something here for you where it's like something like that wants to come through the physical for you, where it completes or it grounds, maybe not completes, but it grounds a process for you. And I feel like it has something to do with like transmuting pain or transmuting negative energy or something like that, where it's like in some cases, I know that in the spiritual community we say a lot like you can just send it back to the sender. Sometimes you can't. Like it depends on how severe the energy is or how much you've taken in or that kind of thing, or if it's like significant pain or trauma, you can't just send that back to the person who did that to you or whatever, because you've already absorbed it, right? Like it's already become part of you in some way, especially if it's something like pain or hurt. You have to transmute it physically, like first spiritually, emotionally, like mentally, you have to transmute it or like transform it within yourself. But then physically, something also has to come through with that, is how it's coming through, that there's a physical transformation that or creation or thing or action that needs to happen in order to complete that process of transformation or alchemy. Like there is some sort of physical either action or thing or event that is a gateway for a spiritual, emotional, mental energy. That's how it's coming through. So I feel like for you, the focus, Aquarius, is this very physical part of the process. Physical part of the process that you're, especially with this, because this is at the bottom of the deck, the coagulation. Something coming together physically is what is I feel like is part of what you are needing to do, but there may be frustration with that. Anyways, first tarot card that you have is the Seven of Pentacles, right? The physical. Okay, so Seven of Pentacles to me is like a preparation for the work. So maybe you are involved in that right now, like you're preparing, because it always looks like she's going grocery shopping to me, and that's sort of like if cooking is the main event or like a dinner is a main event, like this is the preparation stage. You're getting all your materials ready, you're doing all the preparation, you're running errands, you're getting yourself set up for what is to come. I feel like that's part of what this energy is for you. Like maybe that's what you're in right now. You're getting yourself set up for the main event, whatever that is for you. It feels very physical. In whatever way that is. 7 of Swords. Okay. Interesting. I don't think that's you. I think that this is somebody in your environment who is, this is coming through as a trauma bond. Because I was getting that in the beginning as we were talking about like the stress point or the trauma energy that you're healing, that this energy is leaving your life. And this is part of a transmutation process. This energy is leaving your life. And good riddance is what I just heard, Aquarius, for you. Like, it's like, I do feel like this is a positive thing. It does feel like this is an energy of like, it'll depend on each person, how this plays out for you, but it could be, somebody, a particular someone from the past that you are no longer engaging with, but occasionally they come back around. Or it could, if it's not the same person, it's a significant pattern. Like it could be a new person or a newer person, but the same pattern that you have engaged with in the past. And this is the time that you heal that, is how it's coming through. And I feel like there's like that energy. It does feel like a particular way of engaging with people. Like, especially if it has something to do with trauma or trauma bonding. Like this was a representation of a trauma bond for you. And the more that you heal your trauma, the less hold this energy has on you, or the less power it has on you. And I feel like this is the part where they are realizing that they don't have power over you. And so they're running. That's how it's coming through. Okay. Yeah, 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords and Ace of Cups. That's very interesting. Okay. Do you know what? I think that's what you're healing. Because I'm seeing this as healing the healing the 8 of Swords with the Ace of Cups. I feel like in the past, this 7 of Swords energy, like it feels kind of like a relationship or like a certain relationship pattern where like you would, let's say, be in a relationship in whatever kind. It could be friendship, could be family, whatever. You're in a relationship with someone and they sabotage either the relationship, they sabotage their happiness, they sabotage themselves. And whenever they did that, you would be stuck. Or you would have this feeling of being stuck in an 8 of Swords, where it's like you feel like you don't know what to do. Like that, this is coming through as codependent, right? It's like you can't see what to do. Like there's lack of clarity or whatever. And I feel like that would have been the dynamic in the past. But what I'm seeing now is that you are healing this. That it doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't affect your clarity, because it's kind of like, this for you is how you're responding to the 7 of Swords. It's like either like you're prepared for it or you're still preparing for whatever it is that you are manifesting, right? Like it's not affecting you in the way that in the past it may have. Where in the past it may have caused you to either like doubt yourself or be confused, or like you can't see your way out of a situation. I feel like that's what's healing for you. So it's like, and I feel like there is a lot of clarity coming through about how this person sabotages themselves or engages in behaviors that are not good for them, and how it affects their happiness or their well-being, and affected your relationship. But I feel like this is no longer becoming a problem for you because you're healing this aspect of whatever codependency existed between the two of you, where your clarity depended on their presence in your life. And I feel like that's what's healing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, strength. Overcoming the devil energy, right? It's also understanding yourself, and having a very strong relationship between all the different aspects of like your mind, your spirit and your body, right? All of those things are coming in together to help you with this. Like this is a unification of mind, body, and spirit. That's what this is coming through with. Like it's strength. 4 swords, yeah. It's like completely, sorry, not in reverse, completely unbothered by something. It's like you are healing something and you have the truth. I do feel like you understand now the truth of something. The star. There you are. Okay, Aquarius. Like this is really good news. Like you're healing something, yeah, for sure. I also feel like you are cleaning something up that maybe was revealed to you as being a problem within yourself, maybe, right? Like cleaning up some sort of vibration that's not serving you, or some sort of behavior that's not serving you. That's also part of the star energy, is like it like a refresh, right? Like a refresh, or feeling renewed. It's a rebirth energy as well. It's also what comes after the Tower, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, 2 swords, King of Wands, and 9 of Pentacles. Okay, the 2 swords is interesting here because, of course, in the 7 of Swords, you have the person running away with 5 swords, and it leaves the 2 of Swords for the other. So I do feel like you are in a little bit of a 2 of Swords energy, just because, like, the 2 of Swords in the tarot traditionally talks about like being sort of stuck between 2 options, that kind of thing. In this deck though, it doesn't represent that to me, because the 2 swords are actually going in the same direction, right? So it's like you already know what you need to do next, Aquarius. That's how it's coming through. You already know what you need to do next, but it's almost like you're taking a moment to pause and reflect, which I think is very healthy and very positive, and really beneficial for you, because what you have after that is the King of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles, which is coming through as being like taking an action on something that has something to do with your abundance. I really strongly feel like this might be, in the beginning I was saying it was like work and relationships were kind of being highlighted for you. So it could be something like that. If in that example, I was saying that maybe there was like work stress that negatively impacted a relationship, but it could be reversed. Maybe there was a relationship that was going through stress that negatively impacted your work. And I feel like maybe that's what's being remedied in some way. So I feel like you're in this, because you also have here 6 of Wands at the bottom of the deck and the Hierophant. And then the Devil and Temperance underneath that, and the 9 of Wands and the 9 of Swords. I do feel like the 9 is moving into the 10 for you. You have so many cards at the bottom of the deck that feel relevant. Like, so after the 9 of Wands, you have 9 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. I feel like that, because that's a lot of 9 and 10s, right? You have 9 of Pentacles as well. I feel like there is... You already know what to do, feels like, but you're just taking a moment to rest and pause and reflect. And I feel like also like clean something up or heal something that you are now seeing as being like the point or the area of stress for you, because it's like, okay. Because I'm getting this metaphor of like, if we talk about like the lightning bolt again, and the lightning bolt was for example striking some sort of metal, right? Like some sort of metal, a conductor of electricity. In whatever area in your life this is, right? It feels like there was some sort of lightning bolt energy. You would know what this is or what this represents for you, was striking an aspect of your life that feels like metal. And because metal is such a good conductor of energy, it traveled through all to the other aspects of your life. That's how it's coming through. Like the metal conducted energy and perhaps actually caused a significant amount of pain or hardship again to like some other area in your life that you didn't expect there to be sort of like bleed through, is how it's coming through. Like it bled through to a different aspect in your life because the metal was such a good conductor. And I feel like part of how you fix this is like either protect the metal, right? Like with copper wires, for example, like they're insulated, and so that's how it's coming through, as being like a change of material. Instead of that area being exposed metal, it's insulated, it's protected. It's, for example, you're putting like a rubber or plastic coating on it so that when the lightning strikes, it doesn't have the effect that it did before. That's how it's coming through. It's insulated, it's protected, it doesn't spread. That's how it's feeling for you. Whatever that is, I don't know what area of your life this is going to resonate with. That's how it's coming through. And because of that, it's like you can now, like maybe it is that you're channeling that energy in a particular way, like, because it's like you can't stop the lightning from happening, right? That part feels like it's out of your control, but you can change how you deal with it or how you channel it or what you create from it. And I feel like that's part, like it feels kind of like you're channeling that energy into something productive or abundant or some sort of action that is like going to be very successful or has already proven to be very successful. I feel there's a very interesting, like it feels like insulated is what's coming through. So it doesn't conduct electricity in the same way, which is what you want, is how that's feeling. Because I feel like there is something of a little bit of the lightning is striking in a way that could be uncomfortable if you weren't insulated, or if this area in your life wasn't insulated. And if you're not doing that, Aquarius, then maybe it is time that you do that. But I do feel like you're already in the midst of it. Like the 7 of Pentacles does talk about the seeds are planted, or you're planting seeds. The peacock, yeah. This is a card about inner beauty shining outward. It also talks about being able to digest and understand all sorts of experiences, no matter what they are, positive or negative, And it is also today coming through with a lot of clarity and comfort in being who you are. Accepting who you are, or accepting some aspect of who you are, or the situation, or how something unfolded, or whatever it is. And you have the bear, which is an awakening energy. You have gazelle at the bottom of the deck. I feel like this is the new thing. Because I feel like there's something here for you, Aquarius, where it's like the rubber coating over the metal wire, that's how it feels, is the new thing for you. Like the insulator is new for you. It feels new. And I feel like it's also something about like the physical. It has something to do with like maybe your physical body, or something to do with your physical manifestations or abundance or something like that. This feels new. It's almost like you have a new outlet. There's a lot of like electricity energy coming through with this, which is not a bad thing. That's the thing. When electricity is flowing where it should, it's really beneficial. But when it gets out of control, that's when it's dangerous, right? So I feel like there's something here where it's like something that's really good for you, but okay, so it could be something like really intense, or like a really intense experience, like whatever that is, but that it wasn't controlled, or it wasn't moving through the proper channels, or it wasn't flowing through the wires. It was just sort of everywhere. And that was what was dangerous or negative, or caused harm to something that you didn't want it to cause harm to, because it was just going everywhere. But now that you have like the insulating, the proper channels, the electricity that only flows through the wires and not everywhere, it's like this is where you can start channeling that in a particular way. I feel like it has something to do with creativity, or again, awakening, right? Like, think of all the uses of electricity. This is how it's coming through. Like, a lot of things are being, could have something to do with your power, or like having an epiphany moment, or like many different things that are lighting up for you. It's like electricity flowing through the proper channels is what's coming through with that. And it's safe. It's really wanting to come through. Like, it's safe to handle, or it's safe to engage with, right? Like, there's no concern about it getting out of control. Like, maybe there is a little, which is fine. That's what the Two of Swords is coming through is being like just taking a minute to double check things, to make sure that everything is working out, you know, like just taking a minute to pause. Dealings or relationship with a man with dark complexion or hair, the dark man. The stork, news of a birth or a new business opportunity. I do feel like that's the new thing, right? Like, it's like something being delivered through the proper channels is just what is coming through here. Like, yeah, the hammock, taking a vacation, physically or mentally. I do think that's an important part of this, that you take a minute to pause and rest. The rooster, yeah. An arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. I do feel like that's the energy that is the Seven of Swords. I feel like so again, if it is work related, for example, this might be somebody in your work, or if it's like a 10 of Pentacles, whatever that is for you, this is like one person in a group or something like that, where it's like this person is 7 of Swords. I do feel like they are self-sabotaging in some way. So just letting that play out how it will. It has no effect on you. Whatever it is that they do, that feels very strong. Like their behavior has no effect on you and your manifestations. I do feel like that's very important to emphasize. In the past, it may have, though. I think that's why this reading is coming through. In the past, like this person's behavior, the way that they behave, may have negatively impacted like your ability to see yourself clearly, or maybe left you in a place of feeling stuck or like you can't see a solution. I don't feel that that's the case now, but you may still be dealing with a little bit of like working through that energy with the 2 of Swords, is like taking a minute to rest and pause and remember all the lessons that you've learned recently, and the knowing that no matter what this person does, you and your manifestations will not be affected by them. There may be some sort of misunderstanding here, though, with you and a dark man energy, like someone with, so it could be that they have dark complexion or hair. There may be some sort of misunderstanding that's going on. What is this? Crib. Birth or conception of a child or enterprise. Because that's 2 now, right? You have crib and stork. Maybe there's some, so maybe there's something like this happening for you, Aquarius, where it's like all of a sudden you have insulation from something, but maybe you don't know what that is yet. Because I feel like with the bear, it is an awakening process that maybe you're starting to see signs of it, but you don't quite see how or why or like what it is. Like it kind of is coming through like that. There's still a little bit of because you're still wearing the blindfold, right? That's not judgment. That's just a necessary part of the process. I feel like you're still wearing a blindfold at the moment as you rest and pause, right? So it's like when it's time for you to come back out or to like come back in whatever way, you'll see the truth of it. But it's like for now, there's still a little bit of misunderstanding, maybe. I don't know. That feels like a strong word, but it's like you're not seeing something fully yet, is just how I'm going to leave it, because it is an awakening process. And it feels like it has something to do with this new beginning. December, maybe by December that'll become clear. It's a few months away, but interesting. Temptation will test you in the Apple, and then Diamond, you will be receiving or giving a precious gift. Bread, period of abundance and prosperity. I feel like the apple, of course, is coming from the rooster, right? Like if this is a certain relationship, there may be, like, they may try and offer you something. Like, because it's like, especially if somebody's in a 7 of Swords, it's an energy of like they are self-sabotaging, or they run from something that they should engage with. And when they run, they may try and come back. That's what feels like the apple, the temptation, is like, okay, maybe believing that a person has changed when they haven't. So just being conscious of that. or they try and engage with you in the same way that they have been, even though you know that that's not beneficial to you. So just being conscious of that, Aquarius. It does feel something like that, where it's like they come back, they try to come back in the same way that they've always been engaging with you, when you have already established that that is not how you were going to engage with them anymore. So that might be part of the temptation, is like recognizing, like, I'm not doing that anymore. Like, that's how it's coming through. Okay. But I do feel like you are entering some sort of period of prosperity and abundance with the 9 of Pentacles. There's some sort of new beginning for you, but I don't know that you're seeing that yet. And I do feel like there is some sort of really beneficial energy that's coming through. Integrating. Yeah, this is more of that 4 of Swords energy. Integrating. That takes time. And that takes rest. And it also takes like being with yourself. Integration is the true essence of embodiment. Until it is integrated, nothing that you call in, desire, or dream can be made manifest, and you cannot integrate it until you can be with it. Root, ground, and center. Pause the pushing, trying, doing, striving, and even if just for a moment, settle into the state of being. Feel all of the forms of energy that are swirling around you. How can you receive them, offer them, be supported by them, or activate your purpose through them if they are external to you? Use this state of stillness to welcome them in through slowness. Intentionally make room for integration in your life, and your body will stop finding ways to do it for you. Sense the shifting rhythm in your bones. Be with the changing desires. Celebrate all the ways your body is making room for something new. Have gratitude for the wisdom of the humerus and femur as they guide this process within your foundational energy. Your life will drastically change when you are still long enough to be moved. Yeah. I feel like for you, Aquarius, that it's really important for you to take time to rest and pause and integrate everything that you've learned in the last few, whatever, years, maybe. Years, days, months, whatever it is for you. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.